Hi everyone, this is Selina. Welcome back to one of my videos. I hope you're well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Selina and I release a crochet tutorial every week. And this week I'm bringing to you this really lovely puff flower clutch bag. I really love it. It's really easy to crochet, and as always the free pattern will be available on my blog selinaveronique.com. The link will be in the down bar. So for this project I used one skein of Amigo yarn by Hobbii. This is in two different shades, so I used this shade and this shade, and this is 100% acrylic yarn, and it's considered a DK weight yarn, also known as a light 3 yarn. And this is by Hobbii. I will be linking everything in the down bar. And so I used this shade, which is shade 41, and I used shade 46, but I have linked everything in the down bar that I used. I also used a 4.5mm crochet hook, a tapestry needle, and a pair of scissors, and that's all you will be needing for this project. And I will be using US terms with British terms in brackets. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. That really helps out my channel. And don't forget to check out my Patreon page. The link is in the down bar to become a member if you are interested in more feminine crochet content. We are starting to be quite a few members, so it's really nice, so don't forget to check that out. Everything, like I said, is linked in the down bar. So to begin this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make your flowers, and I will be writing down now on the screen how many light pink flowers and red flowers I crocheted. I will be counting how many I made once I finished them all. So yes, I'm just going to show you how to make this flower. Okay, so to begin this tutorial, you will be taking your yarn, So just take your yarn and create a slip knot. Pop your hook through, and now what you will be doing is chaining 4. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And so once you've chained 4, you will be slip stitching through the first chain on your hook. So just go ahead and slip stitch through that, and this creates a center into which you will be working. Okay, so for your first round you will be chaining 1, and this does not count as a stitch. And now you will be placing all your next stitches within the center. I'm just going to show you again, and you will be fastening in this loose end as you go. So now you are going to be placing 6 single crochets within this center. And so to create your single crochet, just pop your hook directly through that center, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Take your yarn and pull through 2 loops. And now go back into that center with another single crochet. And again, and like I said, I am fastening in my loose end as I go. So I've got 4, 5 and 6 single crochets, like I said. And now what I am going to be doing is slip stitching through the first single crochet. So this was the first chain that we made. That does not count as a stitch. And so just go into the stitch next to that, which is your first single crochet, and slip stitch through this. So this is what I have for row 1. Okay, so now for round 2, I'm going to show you how to create the petals. And obviously there will be 6 petals because there are 6 stitches. So to begin, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and this goes with this stitch here, this same stitch. So we are going to be working our first petal in that same stitch. So wrap your yarn around your hook, go into this stitch, pull up a loop and pull it like so. So you are pulling it to add height to the stitch. Now go back into the same stitch and again pull up a loop and pull it high. That's the second time we've done this. And do this in a total of 5 times. So this is the 3rd time. Go back in, 4, and again 5. So we've done this 5 times. Okay, so now that you've pulled your yarn up the 5th time, you are just going to take your yarn and pull through all the loops on your hook like so. And now chain 2, 1 and 2, and that creates your first petal. Now go directly into the next single crochet from the previous row with a slip stitch. So just slip stitch through this stitch like so. And now repeat the same process. So chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. And now just go back in 5 times. And once you've done that, take your yarn and pull through all the loops on your hook. Chain 2, 1 and 2. And do this. So slip stitch through the next single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and repeat this process into each and every stitch across. So 5, and create your petal. And I'll let you carry this on for the next 3 petals, and then I'll meet you back to show you how to finish off this flower. If you need more help, just rewind the video and I'll meet you back in 1 minute. Okay, so I finished all the 6 petals. I've chained 2, and I'm simply to finish off this flower, I'm going to slip stitch through underneath the first petal like so. So just slip stitch. Now fasten off. I'm leaving a long tail for sewing in my flowers together, and slip stitch to close, tighten, and this is the flower. Okay, so this is what the flower looks like, and we are going to be pulling on the center here to tighten. So gently do this so as to not ruin your flower. I'm going to snip off my yarn here like so, and this is my flower ready to be sewed together. So just like I said, repeat this process as many times as you need. Okay, so now that you have the right amount of flowers, which should be 20 red flowers and 20 light pink flowers, I'm going to show you how to sew these flowers so as to form the back or front panel, because obviously those are identical. So let's say we're doing the front panel. So as you can see, I've placed my flowers so that there's a red to begin with, then a light pink, then a red, then a light pink. And so I am simply going to, so I've cut all the center loose ends out. Once I've tightened the center of the flower, I've snipped left of that yarn, and I am going to be using the loose ends from the end of the flowers to start sewing. And to start sewing, like I said, I am simply going to kind of pop my flowers like so. I hope this makes sense, just so that they kind of fit in together. Obviously the edges won't be straight because obviously the flowers have a shape, but we are not looking for straight edges on the sides of the purse. We are just looking to kind of assemble these these two panels as best we can. So as you can see, I'm taking one color and I'm going to zoom in a bit more, and I'm kind of going into the very sides of each flower and assembling them gently. So be mindful not to tighten the yarn too much as you sew, and just make sure that you're sewing them as best you can, like so. I hope this is making sense. And just make sure that they kind of stay together. So I've finished this side. As the project will carry on being bigger as we add flowers, if that makes sense, this part will make more sense. So as you can see, I've taken another loose end and I'm just sewing this in gently. There we go. I'm going back in the other side, and I'm trying to make my stitches look as discreet as possible. And I am going to be leaving this loose end like this for now, because I might need it to sew in another part of the project. So there we go, and now I'm going to sew the red one in, and so this will make a lot more sense as the project grows. So don't stress too much about this part. Just try and sew it in as best you can. And like I say, I kind of make them fit together. So just carry this on. So this is it, and obviously I'm going to have more loose ends as I go, and I'm just going to leave this like that for now and add the pink one onto the side, and then I'll show you the next row. Okay, so for the second row of sewing the flowers in, it's going to be the exact same principle. I am going to be using my loose ends, as you can see, and I'm alternating colors. So above the pink flower, I'm placing a red flower, as you can see. So I'm just gonna gently sew this in. I'm making the flowers fit. As you can see, this is going to fit, and as I'm sewing, I'm kind of making the flowers fit into each other, gently sewing these in. So just carry this on from row to row of sewed flowers, making them fit in. Just have a look at my blog if you need more help on the color schemes and the stitching and so on, but this is what I am doing. If it's easier for you, you can also turn the project around and sew the flowers from the back. I know I find it easier for me to sew the flowers looking at the front of the project. But yeah, you can do it either way. So as you can see, I'm alternating colors, and so yeah, you just go ahead and do this. There's a lot of loose ends. I'm leaving quite a few loose ends until I finish each row, because I find that it could be useful to have some loose ends just to sew in more flowers. So yeah, I'll show you afterwards how to sew in these loose ends. Okay, so as you can see, my project, this front panel is almost finished. I've almost finished sewing it. As you can see, here we go. I'm finishing with one of these flowers. I'm just going to show you. So as you can see, this is quite easy to sew in. We're just building up as we go. So it's a pretty natural and intuitive way of sewing. And I am going into the different flowers as I go along, just to secure each and every one. There we go, every flower I mean. And here we go. And I just wanted to show you how to sew in your loose ends. So there we go. So I've not yet finished this flower, but I wanted to show you how I sew in my loose end. So this is a loose end. I'm not going to be using this anymore, so I'm just going to sew it in. Actually, I might just secure this flower a little bit better from the back, as you can see. There we go. I'm going to tie a knot, as you can see, so just go ahead and tie a knot, and now just secure your loose end like this. So very simply, so I've tied a knot and then I've just gone through a few stitches. There we go. And this is how, as you can see, I still have quite a few loose ends here, and I am going to be, as you can see, we can see that this flower isn't completely secured, so I'm just going to secure it a tiny bit more before I sew this loose end away off. However, I am going to be putting some fabric inside the bag. I'm going to line my bag, so I don't need all my flowers to be 100% you know, completely sewed and secured and so on, because I am going to be lining in my bag. So there we go. So I've still got one flower to go, but I just wanted to show you how I sew in my loose ends and what this looks like. So obviously I still have some stitching to do, so just go ahead and repeat this on the other side, and then I'll show you the rest of the pattern. Okay, so now that I finished sewing each panel, I'm going to sew both panels together, and to do this I am going to be sewing this project inside out, which means you are going to be placing the first panel with the flowers facing you, so the right side facing you, and then you are going to be placing the second panel with the wrong side, so the side, not the flower side, so that both flower sides are facing each other, like so. And you are going to be sewing this project together, and we will be sewing this side and then all the way down here and up here. And what I am going to be doing is using each colour, the right colour, if that makes sense. So once again, I'm sewing using the mattress stitch, and I'm demonstrating here how I'm doing this. And we will be sewing this like so, and then once I finished the red flowers, I'm going to switch my yarn to the clear yarn and sew the clear yarn together, the clear flowers together, and then use the red yarn here and then the clear yarn here, and just make sure you do this and sew this part, the bottom and this side, and then I'll get back to you to show you the rest. Okay, so as you can see, I've stitched all the 3 sides together. I'm now going to turn my project inside out so that it is facing the right way, and those corners here. There we go. And just make sure that you turn all the flowers properly inside out, and this is what we have. I love it. It's a really lovely project. I know I'm going to be lining it and probably placing a little clasp or something, like a magnetic clasp inside, but I definitely will be lining the inside, and I will be linking my video on how to line a crochet bag in the description box and just here if you're interested in lining your crochet bag. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week in my next video. And also don't forget to join my Patreon page. The link is in the down bar. We are starting to get quite a few members, so that's really nice, so don't hesitate to join us. Thank you so much.